Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Gapińska, and I will have the pleasure to moderate today's webinar, our Atos Technology Services webinar. The title is Optimize and Control Costs with Digital Experience. Please welcome our great experts from Specialized Service Centers, Axel and Jerome, who will present the idea of the topic of today's webinar. So by the end of the webinar, we will have a Q&A session. Please, if you have any questions, put down on the chat all the questions. We will try to answer them after the webinar. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I'm Axel, and I have the pleasure to present to you today this webinar. I'm a head of the Center of Excellence Digital Experience at Atos Technology Services, and I am the expert web software development from 11 years now, by contributing to more than 20 projects, including user experience challenges. And I'm leading as well Atos Technology Services digital experience offering.
Hi everybody, I'm delighted to attend this webinar today. I'm Jerome, part of the team, the global team of technology services, and I'm aiming to develop the customized services worldwide. I'm also heading the operation of the 5 specialized service centers we have currently in south of France, including the Axel One's Digital Experience Service Center. And I am working in this area of engineering services in ITs for more than 25 years. Axel, floor is yours.
Thank you, Jerome. So today we will see what is the digital user experience, and then we will see 3 key points of our expertise in Atos: the product communication, UX UI design, user-centric design, a local no-code solution, and then Jerome will present to you the Atos Technology Services offering, digital experience, and we finalize the presentation with the question and answer. So let's talk about digital user experience. So today we all know that digital is everywhere, in every industry, at work, and in our personal life. The evolution of the technology improves constantly the performances of the digital products. The consequences is there are more and more digital platforms and functionalities on multiple devices, etc. That means enterprise invest a lot of money on their digital development, but in the same time, the economic context involves reducing costs and better return on investment. So with this fact, the question is how to improve and control costs in digital development. There are many solutions today, like data-driven decision-making, user-centric design, agile practices. Today, let's focus on the last 2 points, user-centric design and agile practices. To get started, let's see a simple use case. As a consumer, I've adopted a new cat, and I'm looking for food for him. Naturally, I'm going on Google to search what I'm looking for. I found the website PetSmart online, an online store for pets. At the first sight, the website proposed a lot of special offer, and specifically for dog food, and a full blue visual. At this point, this website does not answer directly to my needs, and the aesthetic make me tired because of the big red special offer, the lack of consistency of the information. I will probably back to Google to find a better website that I can trust. A few years later, I found the new PetSmart website. We have a cleaner and less aggressive look. The information is consistent and more valuable for me as a consumer, and I know how to click. There is a cat. I will click on this to find what I'm looking for. In a nutshell, I trust this new site, and I know I want to go further. In the simple example, we can see how the digital experience is really important for the user, the consumer, but also the company. A few statistics to illustrate my point. Today, 90% of people use multiple screens sequentially. In an electronic company, engineers take 20% less time to test AV installation, electronic installation, because of the improved user experience of these electronic devices. 88% of online consumers are less likely to return to a site after a bad experience. ESPN.com, the American sports channel website, revenue jumped 35% after they listened to their community and incorporated suggestions into their homepage redesign. And finally, at Bing, and the famous web search engine from sorry for the sorry for the technical problem. So is that okay for everyone? I will continue. So I will talk about Bing, the famous web search engine from Microsoft, choosing a specific blue over some other color amounting to an additional $80 million in annual revenue. That means we can the impact of the digital user experience is very important. The simple question for an enterprise is, why spend a fortune on software user aids? To improve the digital user experience at Atos, we are using a global approach with the product orientation, the design and development framework like UX, UI design, and Agile Scrum, in order to implement a technical solution that depend on the customer needs. So we have programming language frameworks or low-code, no-code solutions. I will detail these three points. Sorry, today on this webinar. So let's begin with the project orientation. Today, on the traditional project management, the project is cost from the specification and have to follow each step defined at the beginning. This traditional way of project management involves to control the time of each phase: plan, design, build, test, correct, retest, and deployment. The point is to avoid budget drift and any mistakes we know that impact the budget. Everything must be anticipated, but we all know some changes cannot. On the other hand, we have to wait until the deployment to have the first feedback from the users. The question is, what happens if during the project there are new rules to take into account? What happens during the project? New idea for the project emerges, brilliant idea. What happened during the project? At the end of the project, we have bad user feedback. The only answer is the client needs to have budget. To sum up, in fact, a traditional project model is a short-term view of the budget. This is why we propose the new project approach model. The concept is quite simple. The end user are involved in every phase of the project in order to maximize the value of the project, and in an iterative way to be closer to the user needs. In details, at the beginning, we discover the need with some workshop and brainstorming. After some of them, it's possible to define a first idea of the project in terms of technology and business. Now, when the objectives of the project are defined, we can reflect on the user experience by using some tools like the persona A, which is used to define the type of user we use the project, the user journey, the best user journey for this kind of users, and the storyboard to associate functionality and navigation. This is quite some tools we are using. Now we have a clear vision of the project. Now we have a clear vision of the project. We can start to prototyping the project with some layout of with the layout of the component, the interactive prototype or proof of concept with main functionalities to get the user feedback by user testing sessions. User testing session is one of the key of the process. It is possible to get the user feedback by a survey after testing or using tools like A/B testing. Let's just take this example. During the design phase, two prototypes of the same interface have been defined. We propose these two interfaces to a sample of user ends, and we ask which of these two interfaces they prefer. Simple. Then we take into account the feedback to refine the product with another cycle of the design. We can repeat all of the process to be closer to the needs of the users. When the project is clearly defined, all product specifications are written on a prioritized list, the project backlog. The prioritization is another key of the process. It is based on the business value of each functionality in order to maximize the project value. Then the development can start in an iterative way. The refinement to precise the specification with all team. Then there is the technical development. The testing phase by a functional tester on several devices. And the user testing and the demonstration to get the feedbacks from users and stakeholders. At the end of the process development, we get a stable part of the final product, the project increment. We iterate the development by decreasing the project backlog, and then the project is finalized by the project deployment. As you can see, this approach is a user-centric by involving their feedback during the project that avoids the tunnel vision and maximize the project value. So now let's talk about the UX design, which can be integrated into the project approach. So user experience emphasizes overall satisfaction and ease of interaction a person as when using a project. That include information architecture, interaction design, layout of the component, usability, and user journey. When all of this is defined, we have as a deliverable wireframe. This is as you can see on the presentation on the left. When all of this is defined, we can work on the UI, the user interface. This is in fact the visual and interactive element of a system or project that enable user to interact with it. That includes colors, graphic charter, branding, typography, and layout. When all of this is defined, we can have as deliverables branded mockup and as well interactive graphic prototype to do some user testing and get their feedbacks with the interactive graphic prototype. So let's talk about another way to optimize cost with UX UI design. When the UX and the UI is validated, we can create a design system and a component library that can be used for multiple applications for a client. For example, if the brand or the shape of a component evolve, a single change in the design system is needed on this design system that impact the component library and the related projects. Compared with the conventional design and development, it is not necessary to design and develop all the new components for each application. This is a way to optimize cost with a simple tool like the design system. system. So now let's talk about low-code, no-code solution, a solution project-oriented. What is it? This is a software package that requires fewer settings and less or no development. In fact, we just need to put some setting on the low-code, no-code solution platform to create an application. With this kind of solution, the time to market is very small compared to a development from scratch. That is matched with the project orientation presented before. In fact, the low-code, no-code solution addresses two problems in enterprise. In fact, in many enterprises, we have a business team that have some needs, and the IT that supply of these needs. But we have sometimes, often, the gap between the business and the IT. The business asks what they needs to the IT teams, but the IT team supply with a solution that cannot match with the business needs. That creates slow or low user adoption. In the business side, shadow IT, because they want their own solution. And in the IT team, a lot of rework, and that impacts the budget. In the other hand, we have the growing gap between demand and supply. Business with the digital of today have a lot of demand, but IT does not have the capacity to answer to this demand and needs. So with the low-code and no-code solution, because of the business-oriented, we have the development, the implementation of this kind of software is easier for the business and the IT. We have a better understanding between business and the IT team, so then better apps and better outcomes. And we have a faster delivery, so more speed means more apps and then more value. So in a nutshell, the benefits with this kind of solution, we have the scaling with multiple sites. For multiple sites, we need just to scale up or down on demand. We have a good availability because with the kind of solution, there is no unplanned maintenance. Data is reported in real time, and operational excellence. We have as well a modern ways of work, as we see before. With this kind of solution, the business and the IT have to collaborate to have a new kind of product closer to the needs of the users. And more important, we have less than 70% cost because of the lower infrastructure and data storage, no application downtime, and no loss of data. And finally, we have a great agility because it's 5 times speed to create and implementing functionality compared to legacy and traditional development. So, to sum up, what we see to optimize and control costs with digital experience. We have a global management approach for the delivery. We have a centric user design and a business-oriented solution like the low-code and no-code. So I will give my voice to Jerome to proceed the review.
Thank you, Axel. So I'm gonna present to you Atos Technology Services offering digital experience. As Axel explained, we are able to provide end-to-end solutions, starting from consulting. We can support the design thinking workshop. We can help the customer to define the real needs and to write the specifications, and also support team in order to accompany the change management into its own organization. So consulting is key in order to have the good baseline to go through the project. After we go into the build phase, so the build phase could be managed with the development and integration team. It's important to have, of course, the expert in this area to have to be efficient, to go straight forward. We have a web service team development, and if required, we can have also the support of the team watch and expertise that are the guys that make the survey on the market to see what is really required for the customer needs. Once the build of the project is done, we have a complete dedicated team to make the maintenance and the support. Just wanted to share with you that we are of course able to only be part of the development of the tool, or the customer may have done the tool by its own, and we are able to just after acquisition phase, we can take just the support and the maintenance of this kind of application. And the last but not least, UX and UI design. So we have key people on this area because it's key to have the well-designed application, as Axel explained before. Different kind of solution depending of what the customer needs. If it's mainly focused on editorial content management, corporate website, the easiest way to develop such a tool is to go through a classical CMS approach, such as Drupal, Jaya, Liferay. That is the famous tools that can fulfill the needs. If the customer needs a more, let's say, bespoke, customized solution with its own front end, logo, etc., we should go through a CMS headless. That is to say, we can adapt a little bit more the front end, and also it could be reachable through multiple devices. We can go through business application, low code, no code, service postal, service portal, and complex applications through website, web site and mobile applications. And today it's common also to develop through microservices in order to have the full range of capabilities of containers, DevOps, and all the components that are able to be put online easily through the modern technologies. Our competence, our specialized service center is existing for more than 10 years now. So it's quite long in IT environment. We are really focusing on getting a high level of net promoter score. Today, the average we have all of our customers, it's 9 over 10. We know that it's quite difficult to win one new logo. So for us, it's key that the people, the customers that working with our team are satisfied. So today it's running this way. We are able to answer a large scale of kind of project, coming from a 10 kilo euro project within a few weeks up to 15 million euro, and the duration of the contract, the longest contract we have today, it's 12 years. So 2 years of build and 10 years of maintenance. So we could adapt depending on the customer needs, and we used to perform more than 150 projects since the beginning of this specialized service center. Wanted to share with you some use cases. The first one is for the National Lottery Games Operators, called the Française des Jeux in France. So we were facing the client's goal was to create a new interface in a market of online gaming, very competitive currently. So Française des Jeux, that should be shown as an old school company, wanted to have a front end, very new age front end, and wanted to increase the number of players that would be able to play with them through the web and the new devices. So we have a delivery model, a combination, in fact, with some people that are located in the customer premises, but also some people that are working from the specialized service center. And the benefit of the customer is because the contract is still running, the optimization of the registration today, better maintainability. It costs less for the customer to work with us, and they have good quality of the front end, and all the applications are well perceived by the users, the final users. Other use case for the city of Rouen. So this city, we are developing a digital platform in order to have a front-end development for smart cities data. The target is for the citizen to have in its own device all the means that are available around the city to go from a point A to a point B, whatever the issue he may face, such as a traffic jam or the lack of a bike for downtown and something like this. So we developed and we are maintaining this tool through a simple user journey to access all the mobility as a service services. For the Olympic Games Committee, we are quite proud to have developed a digital platform that is aiming to evaluate the environment impact of each sport event. So the Olympic Committee wanted to measure the volume of CO2 that the one event requested. So the impact was quite important, and the aim of the tool is to set up an action plan in order to reduce event after event the consumption of the CO2. So that will be the prototype has been done in several events in the current year 2023, and will be applied in a specific area where when there is a huge impact on the environment next year during the Olympic Games in Paris 2024. The last but not the least, we worked for the La Poste, that's a French postal service company. It was an internal tool to find in order to provide to the employee of La Poste a new service for housing assistance platform. So the target is the client wanted to develop a digital platform dedicated to housing offer in order to promote the fact that the employees can move from one side to another, and it's gonna be easier for them. So today, the La Poste housing offer, it's well perceived by all the new employees as a newcomer of the company, and it was very not that a big project, but very interesting in terms of technologies, in terms of added value of the UX and UI design. This is a business case I wanted to share with you. At a glance, what we wanted to point it out, it's that the customized delivery models are could be customized from time and material, fixed price, agile mode, waterfall. So we can adapt the delivery model depending on how the customer wants to work. It's key to underline that we have the best-in-class technical experts on each technology. So, today we need to have very well-skilled people to face the technical issues. And of course, Atos is still a trusted partner. 10 years we are working with our customer, and we want to continue like this for the coming years. Thank you everybody for listening. very happy to share this webinar with you.
Thank you, everyone, as well, for listening.
We can go through the Q&A session.
Yes, thank you, Axel. Thank you, Jerome. That was really very nice presentation. It was good to listen to this. Do we have any questions? No, I don't see any questions on the chat. I think we have one more slide at the end. If there are no questions, do we? Yes. So if you don't have any questions right now, you see the contacts to Jerome and to Axel, email addresses, phone numbers. So feel free to contact them. And from my side, I think from all our side, thank you very much for your participation, and see you on our next technology services webinar organized by Atos. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.